It's 7:25. Welcome back into Daybreak. Good morning, everyone. As promised, we've got a special guest in the studio with a big and very important announcement.
We do indeed. Cindy, I've been talking much after the Radiothon with several businesses, but one in particular, Alpha Natural Resources, called up, and I talked with Jeff Ratliff and Kathy, and they kept in close touch, and they said, we're having conference calls. We're trying to do everything that we can. With us right now in the studio is Alan Dupree, the president of Alpha Natural Resources in this region right now. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
You know, the men and women in the coal industry, we find it time and time again, not only are they the hardest working people in this industry, sometimes I think they're the men and women that don't get enough respect because of the job that you do, but yet whenever we have a crisis, whenever we have anything wrong, they're the first people to always step up and say we want to do our part. And you're here on behalf of Alpha Natural Resources this morning with a nice presentation for the victims of the tornadoes.
Yes, we worked with our corporate office. Not only did we want to help with, as you say, boots on the ground type efforts, but also knowing that these folks needed some monetary assistance as well. And if coordinating with our corporate office, have made a donation to the Red Cross and then also to the local fundraising efforts as well.
And the amount that you're going to be giving to the victims is going to be?
I think the donation that we'll be making to the local efforts is $20,000.
Wow. Fantastic. That means so much because when we did our Radiothon last week and started this effort, the money was pouring in at a rate neither of us, and we've done this before, sadly, had ever expected. What really is amazing is how that number keeps climbing. So we'll get to add your 20,000 now. It's going to be a big news story coming up in just a couple of days when we talk about the big goal that we've reached. So you have helped so much, and that will help so many people.
Well, we're glad to do that. You know, we have so many men and women working in these areas, and even if they were not personally affected, they have friends or family that were affected by this storm, and a lot of businesses that you know we deal with were affected as well. So it's our responsibility as a good corporate neighbor to help those folks out.
Yeah,
Well,
we're talking about being here in the coal fields, and as we're talking, Andrew has some video up on our screen over there on the YouTube. You sometimes feel like that we're safe from tornadoes in this area, and you and I were just talking before we went on that, you know, I thought it was going to hit central Kentucky. We thought maybe western Kentucky, but we thought because of the mountains that maybe we wouldn't be affected. But you have operations in Martin County and the West Liberty area of Magoffin County. You've been able to go there and look at the devastation. Alan, it was just totally destroyed.
It's really tragic when you do see those areas firsthand and get a glimpse of the damage and the trauma that those folks are now going through, you know, losing their personal possessions and things of that nature, and we need to pull together. You know, we've got a lot of hard working men and women in these areas, and like you mentioned earlier, those folks, those blue collar folks, are a lot of times the ones that'll step up first and go the extra mile and help people out. So,
you know, we were doing the Radiothon, Cindy and I were, and we had an individual call up, he and his wife, and their pledge was they had lost their home in West Liberty, lost everything they had, and they had $3 left, and they pledged the entire $3.
I was thinking the same story.
And that's what talks about our individuals. And I know the men and women that work in the coal industry, they're some of the greatest, good-hearted, nicest people in the world. You know, they work for everything that they get, and for you to come over and make this donation for the people that were so tragically hurt by this storm, God bless you for it, and we commend you, and we commend everybody in the coal industry. This is just fantastic.
well, I appreciate you having me this morning, Keith.
Well, we're happy to have you here.
Thank you for coming.
$20,000 from Alpha Natural Resources going to the victims of the tornado, and that is going to help a whole lot of people, Cindy. It really is.
I think we got to do a shout out. Hey!
All right, thank you, Alan Dupree. It is 8:30. We've got to play trivia. Homer, the category.